Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What up? This is Shan, and this is Cozy Womb Podcast. This is Ari. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Anya.
Hi.
What up? Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Womb Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. It doesn't matter if your family is big or small, adoptive, biracial, multiracial, blended families, co-custody families, extended families, foster families, migrant families, single parent families, transnational families. We all have a way of making sure that our families function in a way that works for us. And I think today in 2019, to think that a family can only be one way sounds so ridiculous. Today, there are many families that deal with the important family members that are missing. Some people learn to live without mothers, fathers, siblings, and more. The amazing thing about human beings is our resilience to grow past certain things we can't change, and also make a way out of nothing, make a way out of not having enough by society standards, and still have an idea of how to show everyone in our family love. How do we deal with disagreements? How does a father provide, spend time, and give and guide his family? How does a mother provide, love, and guide her family? How do you teach your family responsibility? How do you discuss important topics, race, hate, self-awareness, stranger danger, sex, inappropriate touching? All of that is pivotal to how children turn into great adults. All of that is pivotal on how parents, feel like they made a contribution into a child's life. How well did you raise them? And what way did you make sure that their home was somewhere happy to be? It's a lot of pressure on a lot of parents, especially trying to keep up with what kids see on TV, keep up with what other families are doing, where their structure may be different. And yes, sometimes it gets a bit hard. Sometimes you wish, it wasn't only you that was being mom and dad or being all the family that your children needs. And it's hard to be like a single parent personally and be everything to your kids. It's hard to make sure that you can be at work and be at doctor's appointments and be at school orientation and take care of your sick kid and go with your kid on field trips and work jobs within a time that allows you to drop off and pick up your kids. The stress of being a single parent personally, single parenting is 85% stressful. Sometimes it's impossible to get me time. You have to balance like your wants and needs. So I have to think about how much do I need this for myself versus how much I could get done if I do this for them. If you have good friends and good family in your corner that will help you by taking the kids for a couple of hours or taking them for a day and you picking them up tomorrow, sometimes that's the best thing. That's better than money, that's better than something somebody can buy you or pick you up. Don't bring me flowers, take my kids. Sometimes it's that, taking naps when you can as a single parent is key into feeling less stress and less of a weight on your shoulders. There is peace with being single, and there's happiness with spending time with yourself. And a lot of people don't allow themselves to feel that. Sometimes it is lonely, but what keeps me focused and what keeps me worried about me is going to the gym, making sure I'm healthy, making sure my body feels nice and toned and fit for my liking. Most of the times with all of the issues I hear with, friends being in relationships or people that I don't know being in relationships or having issues, it keeps me single. You know what I'm saying? Because to have the stress of children, to have the stress of working a job you don't hate for the sake of paying bills, and then to come home and have to deal with someone else's feelings and someone else's wants, when you really just don't want to do anything, you just want to strip down to your bra and your underwear and sit on your couch and make sure your kids have something to eat, give them a bath and put them to bed. That's going to keep me very single because I really don't know if I want to be married. I really don't think that's something I personally want. But that's a whole nother thing. Challenges for my kids, because I'm a single parent, would be when they want to know why their dad won't do something, or they want to know why their dad doesn't do something, and I can't speak for their father on the why. I think that's up to them to explain the why. I usually tell them that, your dad is not ready to be a father, or he's just immature, and eventually he'll get it together one day, and then you'll get to spend, the time you want with him. You'll get to ask him the questions you need to ask him. But my thing as a mom is I believe that my daughters deserve the very best from a father, and when girls see their father, they see the man they're supposed to have. They see the example that of a man that their father's setting. And if their fathers aren't doing their best when I know they could do better, I don't want them to see that. I don't want them to be exposed to that in a certain way of them feeling like that's the standard, because that is not the standard. Seeing other kids do things with their dad and them ask me questions about that, or them wanting that, I spend a lot more time with my 5-year-old because she has no relationship with her dad. I spend a lot of time talking with her. I have taken her to therapy because my 2-year-old does have somewhat of a relationship with her dad, just a little bit. And, her dad used to have a relationship with my 5-year-old, but because of some of his actions that can no longer be. So I spend a lot more time with her talking through her feelings and talking through her emotion. And I, she's a really sensitive compared to my 2-year-old. So I really try to be a little bit softer when it comes to when she's feeling sad or when she wants to talk about her feelings. Even now, she's going through this thing where if I hug her younger sister, you love Ari more than me, or if I, tell her, don't do that, she'll say, oh, you don't love me. It's that type of thing. But I don't think that's stemming from her father not being here. I think that's more so, that sibling thing, or just her being sensitive. So I always point out to her, just because I tell you no about something, or just because you do something that irritates me does not mean I don't love you. I always make sure I verbally tell her that I love her, and I hug her and I tell her that I love her. So some kids you just have to be more on top of, and other kids you don't. The other challenge for my kids would be them being forced to do more. Like Anya, I think if her dad was around more, she wouldn't be as independent. I think she would rely on both of us a lot more and not do certain things she can do for herself. So I kind of like the fact that, she can, go in the kitchen and use the microwave. She can turn on the TV or download a game on the TV, or she can read a lot more things now compared to more 5-year-olds. I like the fact that she can use a computer, or she could figure out a lot more things for herself. And I think a lot of kids may not explore other possibilities when they have both parents, because they kind of lean on daddy, can you do this, or mommy, can you do this, when all they can do it for themselves. Sometimes kids may act out because one parent will be the disciplinarian compared to the other parent that just lets them do whatever, get away with whatever. I think right now I'm dealing with that with my 2-year-old, because she's the baby at her dad's house, and the other kids that are there, they're teenagers. So I'm more so guessing the toys that are over there are hers. It's that mind thing, and she doesn't have to worry about somebody else playing with her stuff. And because she's the youngest, maybe her dad might give her more things or give in to her more. And I have to deal with that when she comes here, because she has to share with her sister, who's 5 years old, and she likes to say mine, and she likes to tell me no when I correct her, and she likes to tell me to stop, and I have to correct her now in the house before she, 1, does it in public, 2, think that it's okay to talk back to people who are adults, and 3, think that, it's a discussion and it's not, I need to stop what I'm doing and do it. So, I'm dealing with that the best way I can, but for the most part, those are my only challenges when it comes to my kids and the fact that I'm a single parent. Financially, yes, it is hard to, be able to support your kids financially when it's just you. It's super hard to pay for everything and be everywhere for your kids and have regular bills and have your student loans that you got to pay off and have an account where you're trying to save up for a house. It's frustrating, it's hard, but it's worth it, and it just requires a lot more balance. So when it comes to my family structure, some days I think, yes, I want to find someone and I want to have a great relationship and a great friendship with someone, and maybe one day we'll think, we should get married. And then some days I'm just like, no, I'm not getting married. So I don't know. I didn't plan to be a single parent, but at the same time, I know I wasn't going to give in to any man just treating me any type of way. I do understand that 23% of families are a single parent structure, but at the same time, anything that I do, I want it to be honest. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be real. I want it to be a loving place, not just a place of, the father has to be there, because that's what society says. I want it to be a place that's loving. I want my kids to see love. I want them to understand that a father is supposed to be this great man that provides, loves, cares, spends time, bonds with you, talks with you, all of these things. And I don't want them to get the wrong picture. So I will continue to give my girls everything that they need, provide the best family structure that I can give them right now. Maybe over time that may change, but I think everybody should focus on what works for their family and how their family is structured, and be honest in the things that you talk about. Don't leave anything unsaid. Don't shun your kids out when they want to talk about certain things they're dealing with, because if you don't talk to your kids about what's going on in life and you try to tell them, we're not talking about that, or it's inappropriate, somebody else is going to give them those answers. And my thing is, I don't want my kids to get the wrong answers from someone else, so I make them feel comfortable talking to me about different things. I let them tell me how their day is in the car, and then that's where I catch on to what's really going on at camp, what's really going on at school, what's really going on at this house, what's really going on at my friend's house where I just left them. So just be more aware and understand that if you focus on your family structure, your kids will be great. You will be rewarded. And that's it. Thank you for listening to Cozy Room. My name is Shan, and till next time.
Good night, good night, good night, good night.